Hey love bugs, this is Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family, as always, thank you so much for the love and support. It is truly appreciated. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when your girl's about to upload her next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop a line. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me. And let me know where you're from and where you're watching it, and give a thumbs up and share. It would be greatly appreciated. Anybody going through to get to, you may be going through a lot of stuff right now and you're just really trying to heal and you just don't know a way. I'm sending so much love and whatever you're needing just to surpass, to overcome, to heal, to let go, to cut away from, or being open to receive something. Send a million times forward whatever you're needing. I'm going to send that towards your way. Anybody in a nefarious ass vibe, Decepticon ass energy, whatever you're trying to send towards my way or a collective way, we're just not embodying that, we're not claiming that, and we're not consuming. So we're over here making history to ascend and being better, not bitter. And the video that we're doing today is called Twin Flame 101, Heyokas, to move forward. Sometimes we have to go back. Sometimes we do. We really do. There'll be different things that we go through in life that, we may not like what where we're at in life, or we feel like our lives should have been so much, so much more fulfilled in life. And a lot of times when you start getting like that, it's time for a change. And for us to be able to change, there's a lot of things that we may have did in our past, in our past life where, maybe we were a little bit too hard on ourselves, or maybe we have overthink things, or maybe we played too safe. Like there was different opportunities that presented itself. You were like, maybe I don't have enough time for that, or I don't have enough resources, or I can't fit this into my schedule. And this is like, hey, opportunity comes knocking only once in a lifetime. This is not your time to be, wanting to put your elevation or something that could come a lot better for you on the back burner. This is at that time where it's giving you that urge. There's a lot of times we go through uncomfortability, and when we going through uncomfortability like that, is like when we're resistant to something. And a lot of times it's like, even when you're riding with it, sometimes you know what your weaknesses are. Maybe you're impatient. You don't like change. You don't like challenge. I mean, there ain't that many people that like, hey, let's go for a change, or hey, let's go for challenges. I love it when God challenges me in those type of ways. I mean, there's some people that really love that. I mean, they're really gung-ho about it. I'm like, man, look, I just ride with the waves. I'm just trying to stay on the, I'm just trying to stay on the surfboard, okay? Ain't no Beyonce surfboard. I'm just trying to stay in the surfboard of life and trying to hold on to, whatever I'm trying to, get to. And a lot of times it's not simple to be able to do that, but you keep pushing through. A lot of times what we're going through is not easy. I mean, what you're going through, what you're facing, what you're wanting to achieve. And knowing if we apply that towards our lives on an everyday basis, it starts becoming second nature for us, because it's a lot of times that maybe you were the type of person, you've been through so much that a lot of times your mind, when things are not going your way, automatically our minds go back to the past, when certain things went a certain way, or we didn't get our way on certain things like that, or maybe you hear about something that may trigger something in the past, and that's something that you still ain't overcome. And those are the different things that's coming up into our lives, because right now we're doing a lot of integration, we're doing a lot of grounding, or if not, you're being guided to be able to do that. Get out in nature, weather is permitting it, depending on where your climate is. If you're a cold weather person, you get out in the cold, take your little nook, go out there. Every time I think about that, made me think about Alaskan Huskies, which is the most beautiful dog I've ever seen, and you out there in the snow. I remember when I was little, I used to love snow. Now I'm just like, I feel like I'm a cold weather casualty. I can't deal with cold weather like that. It'll put me in shock. But you know, just going through all the changes that you're going through. I know I can personally say myself, even though I've been through some hardships in life and really had to face some things and really had to acknowledge, to allow myself to be at peace with a lot of things. And that, I mean, when I tell you, man, that wasn't easy, because I mean, I had to really make peace with certain things that was just like ultimate betrayal that you can actually do to somebody. And I had to make peace with it, whether or not I got an explanation or apology or even an understanding about it. It was just allowing myself to be, you know, letting what haunts me, that hurt me, just heal. You know, I had to be able to do that, you know, and I had, you know, and it's just cutting away, you know. It's like before, it was like, when I was telling y'all, a lot of times I have the same subliminals. It's like different things I'm got to talk about, but it'll be like almost the same material. Like it could be that week I have different things about faith, or different things about having a different mindset, or change your perception or your perspective. And that was the word I was looking for in my last video when I was trying to say perspective and perception. You know, you're changing those different things, and you know, if you want greater in life, we got to be able to make the change we want to be able to see into the world. And a lot of times that's not easy, and it's just like, how am I supposed to make a change in the world? It's just me. You just don't know how much your vibration can really, you know, just uplift somebody. You know, Floor 5, much love to you. I keep on forgetting to give y'all shout outs, but a lot of time when I see my time is running out on there, I'll be trying to say what I gotta say and get up off of here. Now I forgot about that. And you know, and I love my sister from another mister. She on a different climate, and you know, it made me feel good when she was like, Roslynn, every time I hear you, it makes me feel better, you know. And I'm like, oh, you know, it makes you know that you're on your vibe, you're on your purpose. You may not get that credit or recognition a lot, but truly you don't realize how much you're being heard, you're being seen. You know, even a lot of times, even your enemies won't tell you they admire you. They really try to understand how the hell are you able to overcome a lot of different things that you overcome. How does it just seem like you make, you know, even going through grief is like wearing some diamond pearls and stuff like that. I mean, it is just like you make it look flawless, and people just don't know. I tell people, you just don't know. I'll allow you to see what I want you to see. Before, I used to allow people, I want you to see the pain you inflicted on me, and not realizing that's what they wanted to see. Now it's just like, I will not even give you the pleasure. I will sit up here and be cry boo-hooing to God before I allow any enemy to know I'm going through that. But just allow myself to sit up here. As soon as I said that, it said 1044 on the dot, if there's somebody's angelic number. And 57 degrees. So if that's somebody's number, you know, hey, you know, that's your number. You go through different things, and it's just like, you know, I've gone through a lot of things where strength is all I had to go to. It was just like, anybody who knew my truth, or anybody who would have stood up for me and would have been there for me while I did it, they were all crossed over. They're the ones who's helping me get through this now. And it was just like, that's why I give props to God, even when a lot of times I don't even want to give it to him, because there's so much stuff I go through. But if it wouldn't be for him, if I can keep being continuous about that, being, you know, using my discipline, because a lot of times I'm like, things have not changed. Things have not changed. And he's like, even though my situation hasn't changed, my soul mastery has. Now I was like, what's soul mastery? It's like, you can go through the same situation, but you have a different way to go about it. You think of it differently. You speak on it differently. Even though you may have your moments where, you know, like, God, I'm tired of dealing with this. And they're like, just hold on a little bit longer. That's all we're asking you to do. And I'm like, maybe that's just too much depending on the situation. But it's just like, for you to be able to move forward, we had to be able to understand what we had to go through in the first place to be able to move forward. If it's in a way that you're intending for it to be, or you want to surpass what you're wanting your life to be, what you're wanting to metaphysical, manifest, whatever, and you want to bring in fruition. You know, for you to be able to do that, I had to look at a lot of things that I wanted in my life. If I wanted, you know, to have people in my life that were genuine, I had to be able to read the room with the fake ones in the room. You know, I had to be able to understand that. And it was just like, why are you bringing people in my life that plays me? You had to be able to understand that. Maybe where I go for you, where I'm going to send you in life, you're going to be dealing with the big dogs. You know, I may have people that will be heavy on the influence of gaslighting and manipulating and all that stuff. Or I may have you in a situation where you have no choice but to control your mood, control your anger, use logic instead of moving through emotion, ego, and pride. You know, in your low level frequency. So I make you go through this. And then you had to go through that process of life of seeing how your life was, or seeing how certain situations really changed you. Even if it was very detrimental, it brought some kind of power out of that, or it brought some kind of education, knowledge, experience that you need to learn. It bettered you in some kind of way. You know, it's just like sometimes when I see like these different crime videos that I watch, because I said, man, I wanted to do that, and then until I opened my mouth up and said that and had nightmares for a week, I'll give props to anybody who do crime videos. Like, how do you do that? Especially with me being an empath, conduit, and a daggone anchor. No, I tried that mess one time and I said I would never do it again. But at least I say I gave myself that chance to explore something different. Is this something I want to do? Yeah, it's good when you can speak of the dead, like where you're still breathing their legacy out. You know, you're still, you know, they're not forgotten. You know, you want that person to know how wonderful that person was, or how generous that person was. The next thing you know, some evil POS done took them out of the world, you know, and this happened, and they only got like only about a snitch of years. You know, I just heard one the other day in New York, and I was so upset about it, where the girl, you know, this girl was calling 911 and screaming and saying, hey, somebody's trying to, you know, unalive me. The police didn't want to get out the car because it's cold. You in New York, so you should be used to it being cold in the Arctic's ass there. And that your excuse, because this girl done lost her life, and her baby, her 2-year-old, I think her baby was 2 years old, no, 18 months old, whatever, you know, a year and some change. Oh, standing outside crying outside the locked door while her mom's in there in the basement, unalive. And no telling what could have happened if they would have went in there and checked on her when they did. Because it was like, at least I can say with this one, because I think, what is his name, the channel, he does really good videos, and he made a point, and I really believe that too when it comes to a lot, where, you know, evil intentions, he does these, and I think it's a lot of the ones he do is just around the East Coast, like, you know, New York, Long Island, New Jersey, and stuff like that. He be really putting some out, and I had to pump brakes on that, because a lot of that stuff, you know, I used to be able to watch that, and I was just like, oh, I want to be able to help and do stuff like that. And I mean, I give props to people that do those videos, but that, when I tried to do that and I said, oh, I want to do this, it's like, not, you know, because some people see it as like, oh, you trying to make money off of people's death. And it's like, to me, I watch like Bailey Sarian or Kylie Ray or Kimberly or Annie Elise, the coffee crimes and stuff like that. And I feel like this is telling a person's story, you know, showing their rise and their fall through life, on what led them towards whatever this is, you know, speaking like this person is not forgotten. You're speaking of this person, maybe, you know, just for you speaking up on something, you may have known something, and it could have triggered off something like, hey, I mean, this may feel, you know, this may not be important, but I knew something about this and this and that, and come to find out you may be a key to a cold case or whatever. You know, there's certain things that fall in life that you never know, that can be very critical or very detrimental or very dramatic or traumatic. Traumatic and being dramatic, like, not saying dramatic like you're over exaggerating things, but things being very crazy, drastic. That's what I meant to say. Let me choose different words, not dramatic but drastic. That's what I meant. when you go through these different things, you don't know where it leads you to. It's like when I found out my situation and how I had to find out, I never knew it would lead me to where I am now. And I would have gone through so many of those different things. And even though I said I got a lot of enemies from this situation, but I have a lot of beautiful people that I've also met here. And they both, I appreciate both of them. Even when the people that didn't go for me and they did the worst to me, I still appreciate it, because it brought balance out for me to be able to know there's people out here that actually exist. This could happen to you. You know, it'd be sometimes you watch videos and like, oh my God. You know, a common thing we say, and I stopped saying that, you can't only imagine. Be glad that you don't. Be glad you don't understand how that feels. Be glad you don't know what kind of vibration you would have if you had experienced that. Consider yourself blessed and consider yourself hellified lucky. You didn't have to feel that. But whatever you're going through in your life and you want to change for the better, a lot of times we're going to have to do what we don't want to do, and that means we have to go back. There's a lot of things that may have gone in your life that you absolutely do not want to touch base with, because it can trigger up a whole emotion. It can bring a lot of emotions out that you don't want to have. And maybe that is your higher self way. It's saying for us to go back, for us to be whole the way we're deserving to be whole, and heavy emphasis on deserving. We deserve that. And for us to feel whole, there's a void that we have to be able to focus on, saying, I have to be able to heal this. I may have been touched, or I may have been neglected, or I may have been abandoned. I may have been lied to, or, whatever. And that is a part of my life where it made me look at everything in a different way, in a not good way. But for me to be able to become the original person, not a new person, this is not who we're becoming. You are unraveling the core of what you truly are. And for us to be able to go through that, we had to go through onion layers of going through so many different things to understand how we can tick, or how we do tick, or understanding why do we be affected by something like this, or we're numb to this, or how are we hyper whatever to this, and and we're real cool on this. And there may be certain things that are not healthy. So it's like, if we want to be able to create better for our lives, there are certain things we really have to make peace with, or certain things we really have to heal from, for us to be able to do that. And it's not easy. If you can tell yourself, no, what I may be doing is not easy, and be very uncomfortable. But when we know we want better in our lives, there's a lot of times we're going to have to sit in uncomfortable for a long time. Sometimes it could be a long time. Sometimes it could be very briefly, or it could be an in and out situation. You ain't even got to really tap the water and just be like, hey, I stuck my toe in. All right, I'm gone. It just depends. Individuals may vary. But for you to be able to move forward, just to know, sometimes you got to go back. So learning thyself and having that powerful understanding that this can benefit us in so many ways we never expected. So I hope you are able to get something out of that message, y'all. I hope you have a blessed, safe week. Happy holidays to whoever, celebrates Thanksgiving. And much love to you. Thank you for, the support, the share, the donations. That anybody feels nice enough to, or generous enough to drop a donation, please, that Cash App is there if anybody wants to connect with me one-on-one and want to talk like we always do. I love when y'all send me in emails. It's really, it really uplifts me. It really makes me feel good. So I really appreciate that. And that, as well as the email, is there as well. So much love. Be responsible and safe for everything you do, even through social distance. Make sure you give out love, light, positivity, words, vibes, frequencies. You never know, those things can really take somebody a long way. And just because you're doing it in a selfless way, it can take you so much further. So much love. God bless. Shalom. I say, God bless. Namaste. Thank you so much. I love y'all. Peace.